Hey guys, Malfunction here. Um, the other day, um, once a week, I get out of the house and spend like 3, 4 hours walking around with my mate. This also happens to be my 2IC on our in our company, um, Plunge Enterprises New Zealand. Also, Plunge Studios, which is where we publish our comics through, right? A studio which we created just for the comic side of things because we also run a convention and we also have a magazine called Sunspot, which you can buy on risingsuncomics.com. And we also run our own website as well in conjunction with them, which is because of we're based in New Zealand. It's called plungecomics.com. Okay, that is not what I'm here to talk about, but I thought I'd open up with let you know what's going on. So like I said, we were downtown, and I just heard this is like Thursday, 2 days ago. It's Saturday morning here in New Zealand, so it's 2 days ago for me. So I just heard that Critical, I think Thinking Critical, had posted a video about how they were going to kill Doctor Strange, the death of Doctor Strange in the comics now. Yet the movie's coming out soon, right? So say you're new and you just go to watch the movie because you're excited because you just saw Peter Parker, and all that, and so you go, mom and dad. I'm talking about little kids because I've got a nephew and it's just basically like trying to. He's really into drawing and comics and stuff, so I always think like him, his excitement and stuff, and even if an older person has gone out and said, hey, I want to get for my kids might be into this because people think comics kids. That's all they think about mostly. Adults, especially and grandparents, they don't think about their older kids. But my parents know that I'm an older kid at 48, and I get all things related to comic books, which is awesome because that way at least you never get disappointed with what you get. Even boxer shorts have Batman on them, right? But anyway, so I was pissed off when I heard that. I was like, that is terrible marketing. And like I said, we publish comic books. This this will be coming out later on this year and it's going to be awesome with Kevin Zimmerman on art. I love his artwork. I just saw the last panel of this. I think of this second to last page, and I was so just great. And anyway, so um, and I was thinking like, okay, so you're new, and you take a, you take your grandparent goes into the thing and goes, hey, I've got a grandchild or whatever, or I've got a son, daughter, whatever, and can you tell me a Peter? We just saw Peter Parker and stuff. He goes, oh, okay. So can you give me the Peter Parker comic book about the Peter Parker that's in the in the movies? He goes, oh, no, sorry, that he's yeah, we don't have that one available right now. Yeah, because he's kind of like we've got this one that we're promoting right now called Miles Morales. Yeah, he's a black, the black version of Peter Parker, right? And but Yeah, but yeah, they're one of the ones like that. They don't want that one yet. They already got that one because the last movie came out, right? And so they're into that. So they're into this one. So, and I'm just making this like hoopla, so hyperbolic sort of comparison. But I'm going to get to my Doctor Strange one in a minute. Yeah, and so this is what happens, and it happened with the Hulk. They put the Hulk movie out with Avengers. They had an Asian Hulk, right? The Immortal Hulk. They put out Hawkeye, and then they had a female Hawkeye in the comics. They had Iron Man. They had a black girl Iron Man, which is kind of weird because she's a thief, right? A very smart thief, but a thief still. And I don't see that. I don't understand that the people who are creating these characters don't get that. It's like the black Batwoman who also stole the suit, or in Titans, the black character who plays gosh, no, I've forgotten, the orange alien, former slave, uh, yeah, sex slave in space. Now it's going to be played by a black character, and she is also a prostitute. Uh, see the stereotypical crap that goes on. But you know, anyway. So so they've been doing this for a while, and it's terrible, right? It's terrible for business overall. Because here's the reason why I say it's terrible for business. Because what happens is it turns people off the comic books shop. It turns people off going into the comic books. They have a bad experience because they go in expecting something, they come out with something else. So it's a bait and switch, right? So the movie tells you, hey, we got this coming out, right? Like getting to Doctor Strange now because that's the one that's coming out now soon. And so Doctor Strange comes out, and then they go there. Oh, Doctor Strange is dead. Oh, we have his wife taking over. That's the thing. And it's like, but that's not what was in the movies. So the dead brains at Marvel Editing have decided that we're going to write a story about to, yeah, to raise profile in the comics, even though the movie will raise the profile anyway because it'll be over $500,000, right? Sorry, over $500,000,000 easy, maybe 800 if they stick to the non-woke stuff or SAW stuff. Just keep it a good story without any freaking social justice crap that I'm tired of, man. I'm watching like every single episode of whatever has that in it now. Like, you know, jeez, seriously, come on, you're killing us out there. So you're tokenizing us basically, and it's just shit. So anyway, so they have a bad taste in their mouth, right? Even when they go into bookshops, man, if they don't have Doctor Strange in the bookshops, that is Doctor Strange, right? I can't remember his name, even though I have freaking comics. I've had too many head injuries, concussions, so I have memory problems. That's why I don't do too many videos. Um, and so, oh, gosh. Anyway, is it Stephen Strange? Anyway, so so they go there, and now they've got a bad experience. It's like I went in for something, and we call it a bait and switch, and friggin', that's what they used to call it in sales because I used to be in sales for 15 years. So bait and switch. So you get out there, and they go away feeling. Have you got anything old now that actually has it? Like, have you got something in it? And then they go back and get the trades. Like they go, oh, I didn't come here for $30, $40. I came here to buy a freaking $10 comic book just so I can give it a gift, man, so I can get the kids started. Maybe at $10 or, and they go up prices now higher and higher. Jeez. Last time, actually, the other day I counted, I think it was a Marvel comic, only had 19 art pages, like actual reading pages. Um, I can't remember which one it was. And I actually asked the guys on NZ and New Zealand Comics and Collectibles, a Facebook page that part of a couple of my mates run, about how many pages they're doing there. Because as a comic creator, I want to do minimum 22 pages, right? And then I put in extra pages and some ads with my other company affiliates, with Rising Sun Comics, to let people know what else is coming out. It's not like we're advertising cookies and stuff like that. But it would be nice to, balance out the sheet budget, as they say. But at the end of the day, like, you want to give people bang for the buck, as we say in New Zealand, right? So you want to give them value. So, but the thing is, this you don't because these comics will end up sometime in the future in the shops. So what happens with Marvel because they're established, and DC because they're established, it doesn't matter to them how the reader feels, how the person of the street feels, because the movies will make up the money, right? The IPs will do the job for them, right? So they're all loss leaders. Everything, the comics are basically a loss leader. 350 million, I think it was, like DC made the other year, something like that. And then they got a movie that makes over $1 billion, right? With the Joker, and it's kind of they don't have to worry about that sort of thing. The IP, there's probably going to 10% of that, 100 million, just boom, in the pocket, right? Because it's one of the characters, or whatever else. And so, at the end of the day, they hold on the shops and the attention of the everyday reader, or everyday audience, or everyday uh, person on the street. They have the names in their head because they've been around for 80 odd years, right? And with Marvel a bit less. But you're going back about freaking what 90 sometime. If we go back to 35, so it's almost coming up to 90 years. So all that, so that damages anybody like me who's an independent creator wants to have a comic in the shops eventually, right? I know Rising Sun Comics has, around in America has their comics on the shops. Our ones is going to be there as well in time. But we're going to be heading up in Indiegogo with Incredible soon, signed copies and stuff like that from printed in New Zealand directly, and then you'll have the other ones printed overseas for the rest of the global market. And the Indiegogo ones will be specially signed, right? Because we'll be printing here in New Zealand, hopefully, depending on cost, man. Paper's getting cost, printing is getting cost higher because of all this, COVID stuff. So anyway, yeah, so they own the shelves. They don't care about the comic shops and how the guy, and I still own a comic shop, so I understand bit of that, not all of it, but a bit of it. That you put your money out and you get the comics in, and you wait for them to sell, and if they're crap, they sit there, right? And then it goes lower and lower, like they say, they're in the dollar bins, right? Sometimes they don't even sell it all, and you probably end up saying give it away free if somebody buys about five, enough to cover it, right? But at the end of the day, they hold the shelves. They hold the shelves, the top shelves, uh, you know, and they just use that as a placeholder. That's it. It's just a placeholder. It's their brand. Their brand is there, and that's it. And that affects us no matter how hard we try to get there. It affects us because it's like, uh, you know, how how do we beat that? And so we go with quality. Like we try to build prestige cover setups. Try to beat them with trying to do quality work as much as we can. But I mean, we don't have the billions or the millions to hire whoever we can. At the end of the day, as an independent creator, all we're trying to do is trying to do our best to compete with someone who holds the top shelves. And you know, um, I've got several books coming out this year with several different writers, so and different stories, and from like freaking superheroes to horror, from a vigilante to a slice of life thriller, right? Drama and based in the island, in Fiji Island, where I'm born. So at the end of the day, all these things. It's just they don't care if they damage what people you know what people believe about them. They don't care anymore. It feels like they don't care. It's like they've done they don't have to create any more comic books at all, to be honest. At 350 million a year, they don't have to worry about that anymore because all the movies and TV rights will cover all that easy. So, but for us, they're just producing this to hold the market space. That's it, as far as I understand. And if I was them, I would do the same thing, right? And I think it's just, but it is still, I guess, in a way, dirty. If you're like an independent creator, you got to compete with that, and it's yeah. There's nothing else more I can say, but that's how I feel about it. And my mate said to me, like, you don't have to worry about it. It's them. I said, no, 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 no. This is our, this is going to hurt us in the long run, if not now, because people are getting turned away from comic books, right? So if they're getting turned away from Western comics or Western style of comics, because I want to do manga as well. I've always wanted to translate my comics into different languages. Um, but and I've already put out feelers to have a manga artist work with me because I have a story in my head that I want to do a manga and an isekai story, right? And Because I love manga, and it's just and like yeah, I love manga, right? So, as well as I love comics, I'm a 40-year-old comic book reader, right? Who reads more, who enjoys anime and manga and comic books. But I don't read any more current day comics since Tom King killed Batman for me, right? And so I don't feel any affinities. I don't know. Anyway, um, so that's all I got to say. I think, like, I mean, if you guys see our books around the end of the year in shops around America, right? Please support it. Plunge Plunge Studios, Rising Sun Oceania. I've got a whole bunch coming out, like I said. Well, not a whole bunch, a handful, like about 5. Hopefully by the end of the year, all of them will be out. We'll have 2 one-shots, and we'll have 3 first issues. And I'm just so excited because I've got so many awesome artists I'm working with from around the world, and one local. A friend who does Red Dot, this guy here. All right, I do these sort of, I create these ones, and my other friends, like the one who's working on Red Dot, does this sort of artwork. All right, Shane Evans, and he's just awesome. So, and also, you know, it's I'm just excited about what we're doing. So please support us and subscribe, share, and if you enjoy, like, and I appreciate everybody out. And hey, look, man, subscribe to your favorite and support your favorite YouTubers as well, because I share their stuff on our Facebook pop culture page, which is Facebook /comic.nz. That's comic.nz, or NZ if you're in America, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, ka kite anō. Thank you for joining me on the narrative, and we'll see you next time.